So let's talk about the newest episode of The Mandalorian, titled Passenger. Was it better than last week, or was it the worst episode of the season? Let's find out. All right, so being in Arizona, our times didn't change like everybody else in the country. So I was up at 12:01 waiting to see The Mandalorian episode 2. Come to find out, it doesn't come on until 1 o'clock in the morning, our time. So I was like, I'm going to bed. I'll do the review in the morning. So here we are. So I woke up early this morning to get this review done. And I got to tell you, I think Disney has a problem with Star Wars. This was a filler episode to the max. There was absolutely nothing that they did in this episode to move the story forward at all. I felt like I was watching a live action cartoon. Last week we had Tremors. This week we had Aliens. So this was an episode. I don't know what they're thinking with the storyline, but it kind of felt like this last season too. But I would say that the episodes last season were better. We had kind of 6 filler episodes at the beginning, and then the last 2 episodes were amazing off the wall last year. And then so far this year, they haven't followed off that storyline at all, other than he's trying to get the child back to where the child belongs with his people. I just don't know what they're doing with these episodes at this stage. This was a completely filler episode. I feel like they're throwing in, this episode had a couple of X-Wings, and there was some, I'm not going to tell you what happened with the story. I'm going to keep this spoiler free, but they had these X-Wings in it quite a bit in this episode, and it doesn't help the story, really. It doesn't move it along. It's not something. I feel like they're doing fan service at this stage, and they really got a problem with the story. Like, they have got to move this thing along. You only have 8 episodes a season, and this is what you're giving us? Really? What's going on? Tremors last week. Aliens this week. What's it going to be next week? Back to the Future? I mean, are they going to start doing some time travel thing? I don't know. It just seems like they're lost. Like they don't know what to do with the story. And you've only got 8 episodes. That is like the shortest season of anything on television. Make it count. Right now, it's not counting. I really don't know what they're doing with this. This was, in my eyes, the worst episode of the series so far. Of the 10 episodes they've had, this one is the worst. I would give this episode a 6 out of 10, if that, maybe a 5 out of 10. There was just, yeah. And in fact, there's one scene in the show where he's kind of in trouble, being escorted by these X-Wing fighters as he's, approaching a planet. And he doesn't know how to deal with the situation. He sounds like an amateur. He's a freaking bounty hunter. Like he's gone out, traveled the galaxy, captured many people. That's what he does for a job. And he doesn't know how to talk to these 2 individuals. I just felt like this was a very poor episode. So that's my review for this week. Hopefully next week is better, but man, I'm going in a little skeptical at this stage. I mean, we've had 2 episodes that haven't really done anything to move the story forward at all. So I'm getting a little worried at this stage. I just feel like they're kind of throwing these out there just to throw them out there, saying, hey, it's Star Wars. People will like it. Well, I think people have gotten over the whole child thing at this stage. I see the merchandise everywhere, and it doesn't seem to be being, purchased. They kind of missed the boat on the merchandising, and now they got to rely on the story. So come on, let's step it up a little bit. Hopefully the next episode is better.